You know, when we think about mentorship, our minds usually jump to someone giving us good advice, right? But what if the most powerful kind of mentorship has less to do with talking and a whole lot more to do with acting? Today, we're going to dive into what really makes a mentor impactful, and we'll use an amazing case study to see these ideas in action.
All right, let's start with the big question here. What's the real difference between someone who just gives you pointers and a mentor who literally transforms your career? It's not just about sharing wisdom. Nope, it's about them actively stepping into specific roles to help shape your future. To really get this, we're going to follow the story of Mary, a super successful lawyer, and Mark, a really dedicated law student. Their journey is the perfect example of how a mentor has to be versatile. You know, playing several different but crucial parts to help their mentee actually win. And here's the main idea. Great mentorship isn't about quoting wise sayings. It's about taking concrete, practical actions. Mary didn't just tell Mark what to do, she actually showed him how by taking on some very specific roles. Let's break down what those were. So first up, Mary decided to act as a spokesperson. Now, this is so interesting because it's not about saying, hey, be more confident. She literally modeled how to build a rock-solid argument and then present it with real authority, whether it was in front of clients or even judges. She became the living, breathing example for him. But it wasn't just about being bold and assertive. She also had to act as a moderator. And think about that for a second. She taught Mark one of the hardest skills for any professional, how to stay cool under pressure. By showing him how to handle these intense debates with fairness and total professionalism, she gave him the toolkit to keep his composure when things get really heated. Okay, so beyond teaching specific skills, a great mentor can do something else, something that's absolutely vital. They can connect their mentee to a whole world of opportunity they just can't get to on their own. In this story, Mary made the choice to serve as the bridge for Mark. So what does it actually look like to be a bridge? Well, it's kind of like a three-step process. First, Mary figures out who the key people are for Mark to meet. Then, and this is so important, she doesn't just send an email introduction. She creates actual learning opportunities with them. And the result? Mark starts building his own valuable network, all because Mary chose to serve as that critical bridge. So, after Mary has acted as a spokesperson, a moderator, and a bridge, what's the result? What was the actual tangible impact of her doing all of this? This is where we see the real payoff. Well, the outcome is crystal clear. Because Mary didn't just give advice, but actively guided him in these different roles, Mark didn't just become a lawyer. He became an excellent criminal lawyer. Her hands-on involvement was the real game changer for his success. And you can just feel the power of it from Mark's own perspective. Listen to his words. She acted as the key figure. See that? It wasn't a passive thing at all. Her actions directly shaped his career and, maybe most importantly, gave him the rock-solid confidence he needed to go out and succeed. This really just lays it all out, doesn't it? The transformation is so stark. On one side, you've got potential, a dedicated student ready to work hard. And on the other, the fulfillment of that potential, an excellent professional. And what was the thing that filled that gap? Active, multifaceted mentorship. So what's the big takeaway here? The story of Mary and Mark is way more than just a nice, inspiring example. It's practically a blueprint. It really challenges us to think differently, not just about who could mentor us, but about what kind of mentor we could be for someone else. So let's just boil it down to the essentials. A truly great mentor does so much more than talk. They act as a spokesperson, which teaches confidence. They act as a moderator, which teaches composure. And crucially, they serve as a bridge, creating those life-changing connections. And that really brings us to one final powerful thought to leave you with. Take a look around your own professional world, your community. Who do you see that has all the potential, but just lacks the right connections? The lesson from Mary and Mark leaves us with this really important question. Who in your world could you serve as a bridge for?